to my nail corner. Today I wanted to show you guys the contents of the December Sparkle & Co. sub bag. So this came to me just before Christmas and it's great New Year's themed. Well, it's not New Year's themed, it's Vegas themed, but that's perfect for New Year's because everything sparkles in Vegas. So it came with those cute stickers I just showed you, and then it always comes with a card that describes what's in the bag and why you're getting what you're getting. And then the flip side has subscription information, the password to order any of the colors on the website, and the referral program information. So make sure if you sign up for a sub bag, use a referral. If you want to use my name, it's down in the description box. It's Kate Weatherby, and that gets us both an $18 credit towards future purchase. It came with that cute sticker there too. And then these are the colors that came in the I Want It All Dips subscription bag. It's one of the higher levels at $65. There's a $29.99 level and you get 3 of those colors. So the pink has a really cute purple foil to it. There's a multicolor glitter that goes really nicely with the pink and then the purple. There's a silver hollow. The green is the I Want It All color, and then the gold is the nail polish that comes in the bag. So that's super fun. The colors were really great, very vibrant, and I think they'll be fun in the summer too. So the extra item that came was this cute deck of playing cards. They're rose gold and I love them. I thought that was such a fun extra and I kind of can't wait to play with them. This also came in the bag, and at first I was like, what the heck is this? And I thought it might have been a confetti popper or something, but it came with these giant rose gold Mylar balloons that said 2021, and that device was to blow them up. So that was super fun. There are tons of pictures over in the Sparkle & Co. group if you didn't catch them. Check them out because that was really fun. So I am throwing Mani Boss Peel Base on my nails. It's the first time I'm using this, which I hesitated to leave in because when I'm trying a new product and learning how it's going to work with my process and my body chemistry, I like to figure that out before I share it with you guys. But this time I thought I'd leave it in and it might be educational. So I am applying that. It applied really nicely, you guys. It's like a light pink, but it goes on clear. It dried really nice and quickly. I haven't popped these off yet as I'm recording this voiceover, but I will definitely be reporting back on how that goes. From what I hear, they pop off nice and cleanly, so I'm looking forward to experiencing that. So the Mani Boss Peel Base is $10 and it's over on their website. I have a referral link below for any Mani Boss purchase, or I shouldn't say that, your first Mani Boss purchase. You can get $5 off that order. If you use my referral link down below, then I get a reward also. So check that out. But yeah, $10 for Peel Base. I was like, if this one works for me, then I'm happy to replace my UNT purchase on Amazon. Because yeah, why not support a nice small business that I love? So I will let you guys know how that goes. I also purchased her liquids and will do a Mani Boss mani coming up using those liquids and reviewing them for you. So now that that peel base has dried, or what I think was dried, I am going to go in with my application, and I'm going to let you know in advance that my application gets interrupted, and I didn't realize it was interrupted. So there was an amber alert that came out over our phones, and I heard my husband's go off, and I should have thought it through, but I always put my phone, or I try to remember to put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm recording, and apparently an amber alert goes through that, which makes sense, they're important, but I didn't realize it interrupted my application. So you'll see that as I'm going in for like my first dip on my thumb, I'm gonna skip ahead and it's gonna be like my second dip on my ring finger, but I'll explain what's going on when I get there. But now you know it's coming. So I did my first dip and I pulled my Sparkle & Co. liquids because I just got a set of Sparkle & Co. liquids with my last order. And so I thought, oh, I'll just use those because I'm using Sparkle & Co. powders. And I try to do that as much as possible if I have the liquids available. And so I went in with my application, and what you'll see is that my first dip did not do like a full coverage dip. I had a lot of bare areas, and I'm not sure yet whether I didn't wait long enough for the peel base to dry, or if it's going to be, if that would be a different experience if I had grabbed my Mani Boss liquids, because obviously, you know, the brand that distributes these things is going to be testing like the peel base with their liquids, so it may react differently. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that in the future. So there I just skipped ahead, but what you're going to see here I think is important. This is my second dip on that nail, and you see how patchy it is around the edges and there's all these bare spots. Well, when you go ahead in with your second dip, it evens everything out. So if that ever happens to you, I know sometimes people are dipping on their bare nail, and this can happen if you don't do a really good job of getting the oils off of your nail and dehydrating it. So that's why I always recommend like Dawn dish soap to clean off your nails before application. It does a really good job of getting rid of those oils. However, if you have that happen because you didn't wash, just go ahead, go through with your second dip, and it will cover up those areas really nicely, because you're basically kind of dipping on top of like a dried layer of dip base in those areas that don't have powder attached to them. So I hope that makes sense and shows you guys that it's pretty easy to fix things when they happen. So don't give up and be like, oh my gosh, now I have to start all over. Just keep moving forward and you'll work through the problem. So it's kind of funny that I showed you guys the December bag and I'm not using any of the December colors, but like I said, I did that Mani. I'm having so many technical difficulties lately. I'm going to visit an Apple certified technician at Best Buy this afternoon, and hopefully I will get back on track and can get ahead in my filming. That being said, I did place a big order on Black Friday, and some of the colors, so Sip and Dip is that maroon color that I'm using, or that I use, the solid. I love it so much. So that, and then the sparkle is from the November sub bag, and it's just gorgeous. It's not holographic glitter at all. It's a super fine like rose gold, and I love it so much. I thought it turned out so pretty, and it's, like I said, it's super fine, so it's really, really easy to work with. Now, if you're looking closely on my middle finger right there, the same thing happened where I have these patchy edges. And again, just go in with your second dip and all will be well. So while I'm finishing up this application, and then I'm going to dip and clear. Oh, I should mention that this month, or December, the sub bag usually comes with a liquid. So you'll get like a dip liquid each month. They'll send a different one. This month, instead of the dip liquid as like a gift, we got a 1 ounce jar of crystal clear. So I'm going to use the Sparkle & Co. clear powder to encapsulate this Mani in just a second here. But while I'm doing that, I've had a lot of people reach out and ask how my ski trip went. So I'm going to take this opportunity to chat at you about it while I'm finishing up the basics. So we got everything going, went up the mountain. I tend to get car sick on the way up, so I took some motion sickness meds that a friend recommended that are non-drowsy, and they were perfect. So no car sickness, so that was great. Because of COVID, our mountain ski lodge is closed, and they're not doing ski equipment rentals up there. So you have to stop along the way at an equipment rental place. So we went in early in the morning. It was really busy. And I said, this is my first time skiing. I need to be fitted for boots. And they said, no problem. So the guy measured my foot at a 23.5, which I assume is like centimeters, and then brought me a pair of boots that were size 23. And I put them on, and he said, how do they feel? And I said, super snug. And I was like, really tight. And he said, oh, well, they should. And I said, well, I don't know. I've never been skiing before, so I'll take your word for it. And I said, but they're really tight. And he was like, they should be. And then he watched me like wrestle them off of my feet. So we rented the boots and the skis, went up the mountain, got all bundled up and everything. And it's like a 45-minute drive from the equipment rental place up to the mountain. So we get up there, get all bundled up. It's blizzarding, like so much snowfall. It was gorgeous. So we waited in like the long line to get up to the ticket counter to get our lift passes. And then my husband and I were going to sign up for the beginner class that's available because we'd never skied before. So we get up to the window, and by then my feet, like my toes to the arches of my feet, were completely numb and to the point of pain. And I kept saying like, Is everybody else's toes numb? Is that like normal? And they're like, oh yeah, they're not really comfortable. And you're like, okay. But I, at that point, was like, this cannot be normal. So we get up to the window to find out that there are no beginner lessons available that day. Apparently they're like booking them in advance, days out online. And then we thought, well, we'll just go to the beginner lift and do like the bunny hills and mess around over there. Our friends can give us some tips. Well, the beginner lift was closed because of wind. So we're like, what do we do? We're on this mountain. Our friends have gone off to do their thing, and we're there by ourselves going, we don't know how to ski, and the beginner lifts aren't even open. So we get our lift pass and we go over to this like hill where we can practice a little bit and just like move on skis for the first time. And while we're doing that, I mean, I was getting a feel for it, but I was also just focused on the agony that my feet were in. Like, have you ever been in a wedding and wore high heels all day and you're just like tortured with every step? And then there are the girls that decide to take them off for a break, and you just know it's going to be worse when you put them back on. So it's just a bad idea. My husband kept saying, do you want to take a break? Do you want to take the boots off? And I was like, I'll never put them back on if I take them off. So we messed around for like 45 minutes to an hour on this hill, and then I just couldn't take it any longer. My feet hurt so bad. So we hobbled back to the car and sat and waited for our friends to break for lunch. And then I stayed in the car and my husband went off with them to adventure a little bit and get a couple of runs in. And he had fun. He said he fell a ton, and we'll probably try to go back someday when all of those things align, like no blizzard, boots that fit correctly, beginner lessons available, and the bunny slopes. So I will try again. I liked the way it felt to ski. I didn't like the fear that I had because I didn't know how to stop. But I assume in a beginner lesson they're going to coach me on that. So all that to say, I survived the mountain, but mostly by sitting in the car, which was fine. How often does a mom of 2 young kids get a couple of hours of peace and quiet to just look at a beautiful snowfall? So I tried to have a glass half full perspective and soak it all in. So that was my first ski experience. Thank you to everybody who was asking if I survived the day and inquiring about it, but that was my exciting story. So anyway, I'm going to finish up this mani. I'm going to file off camera and then come back and do some dip top coat for you guys. So I'll be back in just a second to explain that to anyone that doesn't know the process. Alright, so I went ahead and filed and buffed off camera, and now I'm going to go in with my activator again. So if you're not familiar with the dip process, you use activator after you do your dips, then you file and buff, and then you need to reapply activator. Activator is what hardens your dip powder, but it's also what cures your top coat. So dip top coat doesn't require a UV lamp to cure, it requires activator. So you're going to apply activator after you've filed and buffed, and then I usually take a lint-free wipe and just wipe off any excess, because you need the activator on there, but you don't want excess to get into your top coat jar, because then it's going to cure your jar of top coat and you don't want that to harden. So these are the steps I recommend to keep that from happening. So I'm grabbing a paper towel right here that was just beside that I had used for something else, and folding it up so that I have something to wipe my brush on. So aside from wiping your nail off to get the excess activator off, I also recommend this. So have a lint-free cloth or paper towel available. I'm not using the lint-free wipe that's under my jar right there because I just wiped activator from my nails on it. So that wouldn't make sense. So you're going to apply your top coat in 2 to 3 quick swipes over the nail like so, and then wipe that brush off before you put it back into your jar. And that's going to help keep your top coat from being are getting contaminated. And with your base, if you didn't notice, I did the same thing with my base. As soon as my base brush touched the nail with dip powder on it, I made sure to wipe that off before putting it back in the jar. And that just helps keep your base from getting contaminated with powder, because that can make it gunky as well. So basically, just wipe off all your brushes. It's your best bet. So after 2 to 3 quick swipes over the nail, you're going to go back for your second coat, and that's going to be more thorough. You can just get all the way around to your sidewalls and your cuticle and just take your time with that one. So dip top is only applied in 2 coats, not 1, not 3. The science is 2 coats, and that will dry down quickly because the activator that's on your nail is curing that top coat like pretty much as you're applying it. So within I don't know, at the most 2 to 3 minutes, you're dry and good to go. So I'm going to finish up this top coat application, then give it the minute or so to dry. Like I said, it dries pretty quickly, but nobody wants to stick their finger on a freshly done manicure and have it still be sticky, because then you just ruined all that hard work you just did, and your glossy top coat would have to be buffed off and then reapplied. So still don't be too concerned if you mess it up, but you would have to buff it off, apply your activator, and then reapply your top coat in 2 coats. So keep that in mind if you happen to smudge your top coat. So I waited, and now I'm back to do my cuticle oil. I finish up every mani with my Candi Skincare Cuticle Candy, because after I've filed and buffed and done all the things, my cuticles are all dried out and in desperate need of hydration. So if you don't have any cuticle oil on hand, I highly recommend you get some, and Candi Skincare is my fave. So there is a discount code in the description box below if you need some, and they have amazing scents and can also create custom scents, which is awesome. So if you have a lotion from Bath & Body Works that you love, or a candle, or some scent, CJ's amazing at recreating. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will see you in my next vid.